All right. So today I want to share a little background story of myself, and then you may have heard it already. This is a story of me, how I was a skinny fat Indian kid, young adult, and never really was like, nobody would ever pick me for looking or being athletic. Had back pain, played college basketball somehow, and which then led me to CrossFit, and I started figuring things out, got strong for the first time, eliminated my back pain within 30 days of touching a weight, and then went on to work with some of the best coaches on the planet and got shredded. They did things like deadlifting 500 pounds, squatting 350 at 5'11", 150. Been able to dunk for a very long time, still into my late 30s. I'm 37. Did all these things. I've had a gym since 2012. And the reason I say all this, I always want to preface that and give you the context that I'm not a person who was always in shape, who was always strong, who always had abs. That was not me. I was the I was the same as probably most of the Indian 5'11", 150-pound guys, skinny fat guys that you may know or you might be. All right? Same, exact. No strength, no nothing. Okay? I'm not saying that's all of them, okay? I know, but a large percentage, okay? And that was my experience. Then, but I had this desire, and I was like, I want to get in, I want to have abs, I want to be strong. And the very first couple of people that I looked to, whether it was reading muscle magazines or early YouTube, or just out on the internet, early days. And then I remember I hired this bodybuilding coach in San Jose. I'm not even going to say his name, who charged me $600 for literally a piece of paper. On one side, this was supposed to be coaching. On one side, it was like just some generic 4-day split. On the backside, it was like a 6-meal plan which was basically chicken and yams. And he charged me $600 for this. I think I was like 19 at this point, with zero coaching. There was no coaching. It was a piece of paper for $600. And then fast forward to when I finally got to work with Alberto Nunez in 2013. But and then myself being in this field for so long, I'm just tired of all the fucking bullshit that these people spout. Even people that you think are reputable and like very rational and reasonable, like I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to contribute to that. The purpose of me sharing this with you is so that you can get what you want in the most calm and peaceful way, and nothing else. It's not to go out and bash other people or leave negative comments or debate with people. It's so you can find a more peaceful path to getting in shape, getting really strong. That's the main concern here, okay? Because I know it can be very easy to get distracted by all this bullshit. So this thing that people say, especially people who are in phenomenal shape, have always been in phenomenal shape, or have always had a lot of muscle, or they're using PEDs, steroids and whatnot. Like, they'll say things and be like, oh, calorie count, you don't need to be counting calories. That's so obsessive. Do you want to be counting calories all day, every day? All this dumb shit. Like, first of all, that is your perspective, sir or ma'am or whatever. That's your perspective. You think calorie counting, and why are you even doing that? There's also, this is what we got to understand as people watching content, consuming content. And you should do this for me too. If you're watching me or listening to me, you should do this and use this filter when I say something to you, right? Like, why am I saying this? What is the intent and the purpose behind it? You got to remember, all these people, the main thing they need and want is to get attention, subscribers, likes, comments, and then ultimately to be able to sell something, right? Or whether that's advertising or whether that's sponsorships, whatever it might be, right? That's the ultimate goal. And so you gotta put, when somebody says something and what is their incentive, and you gotta make sure, and maybe it's fine, maybe it's, all above board, that's cool, but for a lot of the times, people will say stuff because they're gonna make money on the other end, and they'll just, bend it, make it look a way that's kind of fits with what they said before, so that then they can continue to move forward. So my point being, I've been a coach since 2012, 2013. I have other businesses. I have clients in fitness as well. I have in person, I have online, but I'm not trying to sell you shit. I am the worst salesperson. I am the worst, anything like that. And I'm not interested. I don't care if you buy or you don't buy. I don't care if you hire me as a coach or you don't. I literally don't care. And if you watch my videos and everything, the way I do things, you could see that. Most of my stuff is just, it's just me talking. If you were with me and you wanted to learn about this stuff, this is how we would be talking. So all that being said, so these people, they go, oh, calorie counting is obsessive and blah, 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 blah. Well, the thing that you're pushing now is all about not counting calories. So now, of course, you're going to say, oh, yeah, calorie counting is obsessive. Do you really want to be counting calories all day? And the thing is, people are easily manipulated through emotion. And I fucking hate that. I highly dislike doing those types of things. I'm just like, look, if you want to lose fat, it's very simple. It's not this complicated. You got to eat less food. You got to move a little bit more, and you just got to start to burn or build some strength, and you got to get your heart rate up. And then we just find the most enjoyable and peaceful way to do that. Okay. But these people, they make it into this fucking, they use these words that trigger emotion, and they know, look, most people are susceptible to emotional manipulation. Most people are. Words, okay? Words do a lot of things, okay? And so my point with all this is, look, calorie counting is not hard, okay? If you think it's hard, then it is hard. If you think it's so time consuming, then it is for you. It is 100% for you. But when people cherry pick and they say this and that, and they bring up examples, well, that's just one example that you chose. We don't know what the real thing is, and we don't need to know, because at the end of the day, we do know that there are examples of people are counting calories, and it's not a big problem. For me, it's not a fucking issue. For all of my clients, it's not an issue. For the people that have coached me, it's not an issue. Tons and tons of people. Now, here's the thing. Do I think that everybody needs to count calories forever? No, I don't. That's the difference between when I talk about this stuff. I like to have some subtlety and nuance, because, look, I think one of the big benefits of counting calories is that you get to find out like the amount, you get to learn about food and begin to have understanding. And actually, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, maybe you don't even need to do this, but like you don't know until you know. But like you get to find out things like, man, cheese has a lot of calories. And a slice of cheese is almost always like 90 to 200 calories. It's like 9 grams of fat ish and like 5 grams of protein. You get to learn these things. You get to find out, oh, butter is like, you know, 14 grams of fat per tablespoon. Oh shit, olive oil is the same. Oh shit, canola. You get to find out these things. Oh, mayo is the same. And now you know this information forever, right? Like, you wouldn't know that until you tracked calories. You get to find out things like, hey, carbs are 4 calories in a gram, protein is 4 calories in a gram, fat is 9 calories in a gram. And look, so I think it gives a great education. And I think if you're not, like, depending on how lean you want to be and whatnot, once you get to an acceptable, like for most people, where I'm at now is perfect. There, it's amazing, right? For me, I want to be as lean as possible all the time. Okay. So then I count calories and I get leaner. Is that the only way? No. But I like to be able to adapt and be able to eat anything at any time and blah, blah, blah. To me, this gives me certainty and clarity and calmness. Okay. And when these people go, it takes so much time. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, the point here is, can we show the truth? That is actually the goal, is the truth. And the truth is, it takes about 10 seconds to track calories, if that. Um, they act like it takes forever to track calories, but then, you know, they don't define, well, is it going to take an hour out of your day to track calories? Is it going to take 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes? Well, okay, well, it takes about 10 seconds each time you're entering something, right? Maybe 20 seconds if you're looking for something new. So, you know, add that up. It might be a minute to a minute and a half out of your day. Now you can ask, like, do I have a minute? Do I want to use a minute out of my day to help me get leaner? Yes or no? And then you can compare that, right? You could compare it to, like, well, I don't have a minute. Okay, well, where all my minutes go? This is getting a little absurd, but you got a minute. You open up your time usage app, you spent 6 hours on TikTok, right? And so, I don't know. I don't actually care. Like, I've said this before, like, I don't care what you eat. I don't care how you do it. The only people that I care about are the people who ask me for help and the people who actually are clients. Then I have a reason to care. I would love for everybody to see phenomenal results because it feels so good. When you, for the first time in your life, get abs, it feels so good. You can dress in ways that you couldn't dress before, and just, it's so great. And by the way, I want to contrast that and juxtapose that to another perspective I have. It also doesn't matter. I hold these two opinions at the same time, which is another problem people have, is that, to me, being ripped and strong is the most important thing, and I also don't care about it. Um, and I definitely don't have any judgment on anybody else if they're not that. You know, my opinion is, I've been 35 pounds overweight. And for me, even getting up to 20 pounds above that weight, right, where I'm super lean, I feel disgusting. So that's a personal thing. You know, a lot of people go like, "Oh, I don't know how people live like this." Well, why do you care? Why do you care? What is it that is so, like, what is that doing to you? You're not experiencing that. Why do you care? And so, and I'll tell you why. One of the things is like, it's easier for us humans to be talking about and concerned with other people, because then that distracts us from stuff that we need to think about or work on for ourselves. And that's a lot of this whole thing. Like, if you look up the Cartman drama triangle, right? There's three roles in this. There's the savior, the villain, and the victim. And, you know, people kind of rotate through, they play different roles at different times, different situations. But basically, you know, the victim is like, it's not my fault. And the savior comes in and he goes, it's not your fault, it's the villain's fault, right? And they always villainize somebody or something. But, you know, the victim can go, it's not my fault. And, you know, what's the word? Give up responsibility, abdicate responsibility, and the savior can distract themselves and then also get what they need from the victim. Like, for a lot of times, it's like a lot of these like coaches or like influencers, they will literally go, you know, oh, this industry is trying to do XYZ and, you know, whatever, blah blah blah. Don't worry, I'll save you. Buy my supplements. Buy my supplements. I'll save you. And so, you know, that's how the Cartman drama triangle works. It's actually very interesting, and a lot of insights into human psychology if you read up on some of that stuff. But that's all, man. That's all today. I don't even know if I'm gonna share this one publicly. I don't even know if this actually helps, because, you know, I don't hear any feedback. So if this does help, you know, if you watch this far, then please let me know, because um, I just share my own experience and journey going from completely not physically capable, lean, athletic, to doing all those things, and but also doing them in the most peaceful, enjoyable way, without any of this like stress and like anxiety that people have about it. Um, yeah, you know, that's kind of where all this is at.